apply that.
Perfect.
So what were some of the themes and patterns that you noticed in your conversations?
I think the need for flexibility. I talk a lot with people about being a leader and being able to recognize those that you work with, especially within your leadership team, the independent versus dependent. And like I strongly feel like my role as principal is to build people's capacity. And those people that are independent want to just do. And then they feel good about what they've done, but part of building a person's capacity is the process to get to that goal. And so Skyla and we were having a really good conversation, and I equated it to some of the work that we're doing around just cultural competence within the system. And then she brought up a really good, another analogy, which is creating an assessment. And those are two very vulnerable topics that you have to be flexible. And as the coach, you have to be able to be what that person needs in order to get them to, and I think in those cases, the desired state that a leader might have might be very different from what the people that you're coaching might want.
One thing that came up a lot was that we're not trying to change their filter in terms of their field independent or dependency or their educational belief system. We're not trying to change who they are, and rather we're trying to change their state of mind. And so that was something that kind of came up in a lot of the conversations.
Good point. So thinking about raising the states of mind that you recognize as low, rather than trying to change where they're coming from. Because people are going to hold on to that. And just like we've said, you can't coach with an agenda. If you're trying to change that about them, it's a little bit like coaching with an agenda.
And one of the things to think about with that too is, how when we were all teachers in the classroom, how we would design lessons based on our learning style. It's just natural. Or if you were going to run a meeting or professional development, you design it around your style. And one of the things to think about is, as a coach, a lot of times you might be asking questions or paraphrasing in your style. And so just being really, really aware of that, that's that attuning and adjusting. Really being aware of that and making sure that the questions you're asking aren't based on your style, they are based on what the coach needs. Other comments or questions about the filters?
Well, one question that we were talking about is the whole topic of change and how that's difficult. Wasn't there something that we learned here where it's probably research-based theory about why it's so hard for people to change because they feel like they're letting go of something? Didn't we talk about that?
Well, that was in cognitive coaching.
Yeah. I remember it too.
Change theory.
Yeah.
And you're right, it's research-based, but change theory.
I feel like one of you said that those are sort of a different part of the brain. Is that what somebody said?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. It's rear filters versus forward filters. The rear filters are the ones that you just read about. The forward ones are the states of mind.
So the rear filters you can't try to change. That's what people are coming to the table with. And you're going for forward. So our outcomes for today. Fluency with the tool cluster of pacing. We talked about the problem resolving map last time, and you see it up there on the wall again. And so today we're going to talk about the part of that map that is the pace. And we'll go into depth a little bit about that, and we'll also revisit how you want to keep the focus on that desired state.
So the pace is what we talked about last time, where you honor the existing state and you frame the desired state. That's all what the pace is, so you'll learn that today. That'll be the bulk of the day. And then also really, really getting good with listening and responding. Attuning, listening, and responding. In order to support people who are stuck, you have to listen very carefully, and then your response is based on them, not on yourself.
And finally, refining the coaching skills in crafting mediative questions. So when we talk about that map, the questions that will relate to state of mind come in that resources part in the middle of the problem resolving map. And so we're going to keep that focus on mediative questions. It isn't always about solving the problem, but leading them to the resources, helping the coachee feel more resourceful, and we do that through mediative questions.
And I would say this is really more of an outcome for tomorrow than today. Tomorrow's all about how do you ask questions. Today's all about paraphrasing.
So we have our welcome, you got back into the learning a little bit. As Tina mentioned, we're going to spend a lot of time on the PACE portion of the problem resolving map.
And then going for the goal is this desired state here. That is the goal. You are framing the goal, and there's a way to do that so it is most productive. Because you could frame a goal for someone, and they're going to sign off and say, yes, that's what I want. And then when you get to this resources place, as the coach, you have nowhere to go. Because you didn't frame the goal in a way that's going to support you and really helping with those front filters.
And then as always, an extended learning opportunity, and we see you guys tomorrow for day 8, so it'll be a brief extended learning opportunity, but it'll lead us right into focusing on the PACE from today, into the lead for tomorrow, and really thinking about those mediative questions.
And just as a reminder, the agenda will remain up here for the day. So turn and talk with a partner. Based on what you've heard from the outcomes and the agenda, what are you most looking forward to today?
I was looking at the forecast. It's going to be like one of those weeks. That's why I make sure I don't always have my Diet Coke, but this morning I didn't pack it.
That's why I have a Diet Coke.
I did not pack it. Oh my gosh, it's going to be, I took some time. Yeah, but that, like, you know, is it better? What page?
Okay. So one of the things I mentioned is that today is all about paraphrasing. Because when you honor the existing state and frame the desired state, all you are doing is paraphrasing. That's it. You're not asking any questions, you are using that tool of paraphrasing. So because of that, you are going to have an opportunity to refresh your memory and go a little bit deeper into some paraphrasing.
So on page 49 in your learning guide, staff note, Carolyn, it might be Becky. You got it. There are the 3 levels of paraphrasing. So I'm going to invite you to look back at your notes that you wrote there, look at the 3 different types, because we're going to be honing in on how to best use these in the problem resolving map.
So with a partner, just take a couple minutes, talk about the 3 levels, what do you remember about the 3 levels, and how have you used the 3 levels in your work since you have started cognitive coaching? So from day 1 to now, how have you used those 3 different levels?
Well, we have a document for that. I'm gonna.
questions for Tina.
Notes.